Well, hello everybody and welcome to Chef's Baking Blog. Now today I'm going to be making a chocolate fudge tart. Now I got this idea from a recipe that I read which I've adjusted slightly for my own needs, and basically it's a biscuit base flavoured with cocoa powder to make it chocolatey, and then a nice rich chocolatey fudge filling, which is made with I'm using milk chocolate and dark chocolate and a caramel that you can get in a tin like dulce de leche, but you could just use condensed milk, and some double cream. So and then on top of that I'm going to sprinkle some roasted chopped hazelnuts just for a bit of extra flavour and a slightly different texture. It's quite simple to make. You simply have to make the base and then chill it, then bake it for a short while, let it cool down, and as it cools down you can make the fudge filling, put that into the base, and then you just have to chill that until it's set. So for the ingredients for the base, I have 150 grams of crumbed biscuits. Now I'm using an oat biscuit which is similar to Hobnob's, but it's a supermarket owned brand. You could use digestive biscuits, you could use graham crackers, which is very common in the United States. Now having got my 150 grams, I used a processor to blitz them into that consistency, but you could put them into a plastic bag and smash them with a rolling pin or something until you get this sort of consistency. Now I also measured that out into cups, so that this is 1 1/4 cups of the cookie mixture or the biscuit mixture after it's been ground down. So I put that into a bowl, and into that I'm going to add 45 grams of cocoa powder, which is just about half a cup, and into that I'm going to add 45 grams of soft brown light brown sugar, and I'm just going to break that up and mix all of that about a little bit. I also have 80 grams of butter which I've melted. That works out at 6 tablespoons and a little bit. So 6 tablespoons is 78 grams. That would be enough in all probability. So having mixed the sugar, the cocoa powder and the crumbed biscuits together, I'm going to add in my butter. Then I'm going to stir that all together until it's a nice thick paste. It doesn't take any time at all. So that's that done very easily. Now I also have here a 9-inch 23 centimetre flan tin, which I have greased around the sides and the bottom, and it's got a removable bottom, and I have lined that with parchment paper. So then what we've got to do is to put our biscuit mixture into the flan tin, and press it into the base and up around the sides. So that it's fairly level all the way across. It will take a bit of time to do, but it should work quite well. With our biscuit base spread fairly evenly across the whole thing and up the sides, I haven't gone right up to the top because I don't think my filling will fill the whole thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into the refrigerator and I'm going to let it chill for at least 30 minutes. And while that's chilling, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and then that's going to be ready to bake this base for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes and I have my oven preheated at 180 Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to put our tart case into the oven and I'm going to cook that for 10 to 12 minutes, and while that's actually cooking, we'll go on and we'll make our filling. So for that I have here 375 grams of chocolate. I've got 250 grams of milk chocolate and I have 125 grams of dark chocolate. Now 250 grams is about 18 ounces, so that would be about 30 to 31 ounces of chocolate all told. And into that I'm going to put, so I put that into my saucepan, I'm going to put 400 grams of this tinned caramel. Now, as I said, you could use just condensed milk if you wanted to, or you could dulce de leche, but this is a named brand which is basically condensed milk that's been heated for a couple of hours until it turns into a caramel. I'm also going to put into that just a pinch or two of salt and 150 millilitres, which is half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of double cream. You could use heavy cream, which is about 32% fat, I think. This double cream is 50% fat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat that on the cooker gently until it all melts and turns into a nice thick fudgy sauce. So I have this on a fairly gentle heat and I'm just going to stir that as it melts everything together. So as you can see, the chocolate is melting nicely into the cream and the caramel. So I've taken the base out of the oven and it had shrunk a little bit around the edge, so what I did was I took a teaspoon and just pushed it back up while it was still soft, and I'm leaving that to cool down. And here is our chocolate caramel fudge, which is also hot, and I will pour that in as soon as this has cooled down a little bit. So I'll come back and show you that, and then what I'm going to do is to sprinkle about 25 grams of chopped roasted hazelnuts on the top. Now you could put anything on the top or nothing at all if you wanted to. You could sprinkle some sea salt flakes, or some other chopped nuts if you wanted to. You could even mix some nuts in with the chocolate caramel fudge. But I'll come back when it's cooled down and we can fill the base, and then we have to chill that for 2 hours before we can slice it. Okay, so our tart base has cooled down now, and so it's time to pour our chocolate fudge into it. So we'll do that, and then what we need to do is just spread that around. I may not need all of the fudge sauce, but I'll see. And we spread it around quite evenly. And then the last thing to do is to sprinkle over our chopped hazelnuts, and we'll sprinkle those all over. And then I'm going to put that into the fridge, and I'm going to allow it to chill for 2 hours until it's set nicely, and then I'll come back and we'll cut it and we'll have a taste. Well, it's been a couple of hours since I put our chocolate fudge tart in the fridge, and I've taken it out and I've put it onto a plate, and I've taken one slice out of it. So this is what it looks like. And it's got a nice crumbly biscuit base, so we'll have a taste of it. It is very, very nice. That biscuit base gives that lovely texture that goes with the silky smooth chocolate fudge filling, and then you get the crunch and the flavour of the hazelnuts as well. So it's very, very good. It doesn't take too much time either, and it's not too complicated. So I hope you've enjoyed this recipe, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen, as ever, there will be an eye that you can click on to take you to the recipe, and I'll put a link to it below the video as well. And then I'll be back with you with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.